It is Friday night. That means it's Blast Under Stash It time. We got Paulie back in the show tonight. So lead us off with your quote there, Paul.
All right. First, I want to point out we got comic book aesthete in there. It's always nice to have some aesthetics. Let me see here. Where's my quote? Is from 1991. I figured I'd go for something. I think one of you graduated in 91.
Nope.
Nope.
No, you're too young for even that.
Oh, asshole. And this is Paul's last show.
First character goes, "It just happened, Joe." And the other character goes, Sure, I know it just happened. Could have happened to anybody. It was an accident, right? You tripped, slipped on the floor, and accidentally stuck your dick in my wife. Whoops. I'm so sorry, Mrs. H. I guess it just isn't my week.
Oh, my God, dude, that... Almost, no, not True Lies. True Lies came out in 93 or 94.
Not True Lies.
Here, I'll give you a hint that most people probably won't help them. It was Halle Berry's first movie. Trinity got it.
Yes, Last Boy Scout. Oh, my God. That's when you screwed a squirrel to death.
Yes. I think I screwed a squirrel to death, and I don't remember. What's up, Alex?
Motherfuckers in the chat.
Okay, so moving on to Mike.
Shout out to Stephen Higgins, Brian Spaceboy 227, Alex the Comic Hoarder, Uncanny Kawaka, and Evan. God damn, we got 11 people watching. Area 51 just popped in. Can I get 12? We could have like a raffle going. My quote is from 1993. And it is not a comic book movie, and it is. That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, and they all stay the same.
Oh, come on! But now I can't think of the name of the damn movie. I know what it is.
I know the movie, but I'm like,
All right.
Dazed and Confused?
Yes, it's Dazed and Confused.
Skies blue, water's wet, women have secrets. What else?
Blade H12, Jock Yo.
And mine is not a comic book movie. It is from the year maybe Paul graduated, 1989.
90.
Oh, shit. I want you to be nice until it's time not to be nice. You're the cooler. Familiar. I'm the cooler. Gets bouncers hard every time they see it.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
It is Roadhouse. I'm spilling my drink everywhere.
I'm not a bouncer, and it gets me hard.
What doesn't?
Go ahead and give us an update back on that chat there, Mike. Why?
All right, Uncanny Cow. Trinity Comics. How was Justice League? Tell everybody in the chat how Justice League was, Trinity. Blade H12 is in the house. SS Comic Reader. Kawaka. Yeah, so.
Polly Pocket, not Packet. Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump into the comics. Paul, what's your first book for the evening?
Let's go right into Dark Knight, the Batman Who Laughs. Holy hell, this book is brutal, bloody. It was awesome. It was almost my pick of the week. Great art, very visceral, feels like a horror book. Story was really twisted, so it's right up my alley. I don't want to give too much away, but it was just bloody and brutal and awesome. What about you?
Mike is spacing off.
What?
What about you, Mike? What'd you think of Batman Who Laughs?
It is actually my pick of the week. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. Right when this book opens, we get Joker doing some evil shit, and Batman finally snaps and he actually kills the Joker. But we find out that Joker was holding a strain of the Joker gas, a nanotoxin form of it, that was released when he died and only affected, people in close proximity, and which would be Batman, and that's how we get the Batman Who Laughs. The one scene in here where he has all the Bat family around in the Bat Cave, and then he slaughters them is fucking epic. Pick of the week, right here, Gotham Knights. Mike looks like Dustin from Stranger Things, all grown up in that hat.
You're talking about the kid with no teeth and no collarbones.
Do you want to see my? Do you want to see my? Do you want to see my dart?
Hey.
Some things never change.
And some things never change.
And Paulie is looking like a guy from the 1870s.
Look like that boxer dude from the E-card.
Are you done with the review, Mike, or what are you doing?
Stash it. Yes, I am done with the review.
What the fuck is going on here? It's going off the rail. To add on to another part of that, which I thought was really good, when Batman goes through and Superman's trying to stop him, and the Superman says, essentially saying, "I'm not going to let you hurt my family." He says, "Well, I don't have to worry about that." He had a strain of black kryptonite, and he says, like, when I gave it to Supergirl, she ripped her family apart and threw it at Superman. Then all you hear is like, "Script, rah," and it's just freaking brutal. Brutal. Although I don't know, and I don't think it's given too much away because they didn't reveal anything, but who's the person that Batman's talking to that's strapped up? What's your best guess?
That's strapped up?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
they don't show anything.
Again.
This right here.
Oh.
They don't. I mean, I'm sure they're going to reveal that maybe in Dark Knight Metal, the next one coming up. But art was good. Story was freaking out there for a Batman book. Probably my pick of the week. Definitely a stash for me as well. I don't know who that was. I thought it might have been Carrie Kelly or something like that, but she's not part of the Batman continuity. I don't know who that is. But what's your next book, Mike?
Let's do my freaking worst pick of the week right now. A book that I normally don't read, and but I picked it up just because I was interested in the story. And it's Doctor Strange 381. I picked it up because apparently Loki's the Sorcerer Supreme right now. But there's a scene in this comic that gets a fuck Marvel, because when Loki starts texting someone else, I'm done. So, yeah, Loki actually texts in this book. So.
He texts?
Like fucking text.
Twitter?
Like Twitter. I'll show you. Hold on.
Jeremy's asking, did Donny Cates write that book? He's texting Zelma?
Yeah, he's walking down the street texting. I'm like, really?
Oh, so, fuck Marvel.
Fuck Marvel.
Is Donny Cates the writer on that?
On Doctor Strange?
Yeah. He was supposed to take it over. I don't know how soon.
Let's see. Yep. Yes, he is. Donny Cates. Artist Gabriel Hernandez Walter.
Okay.
Yep, I kept SS Comic Reader coming back for another week, saying, "Fuck you, Marvel."
Thumbs down, boo, for texting. My first book that no one else read, and I'll get into it because we were talking about in the off air. As soon as I said the name, you're like, "What? What is that?" And that is Minky Woodcock, the girl who handcuffed Houdini. So,
oh, that's right. I like the cover on that one.
this is cover B. This is by the same company that wrote that Patchouli detective book you were telling me about, Paul, that I never picked up.
Yeah.
What was it? I think they show it in the back here. Normandy Gold, yeah. So it is written and drawn, I believe. Yes, written also by Cynthia Von Bueller. So it is back in the early, I said 1926. She runs, or she's part of a detective agency. She says her dad's on. I thought her dad died, but her brother runs it too. Alfred Doyle. It's Alfred Doyle. Sir Alfred Doyle, the guy who writes. Wait.
Arthur Conan Doyle?
Conan Doyle, yeah. Writes.
I can't believe you fucked
Sherlock
that
Holmes. So he actually comes in trying to hire her dad, and he's like, "Oh, he's not here." He's saying that Houdini's this spirit guy, but he actually kind of hires her to come in and do it, and she goes in for a little seance with this other woman here, and this woman's likes to get nude and all this stuff during this seance.
Oh, Mike's gonna run right out and buy it now.
Let me see here. Here it says, "I must warn you that Marjorie does her seances in the nude. If you are offended by nudity, please do not enter. Marjorie is especially adept at manifesting spirit ectoplasm from her orifices." So that sounds like a Mike book all over right there.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So during the seance, she's telling everybody to close her eyes, and she's rubbing the detective's crotch with her foot and trying to say, "Hey, look, this is all this spirit's doing this," and it was all fake. And she tried to come on to the woman, and then she ended up leaving out of there. But she ended up meeting Houdini's wife and kind of befriends her.
Tried to get some ectoplasm from his orifice.
Retired French. I'm going to be dropping some F-bombs tonight, I swear. She befriends Houdini's wife because Houdini's this lady killer, and she thinks that she's going to be able to help him out. It actually wasn't too bad of a read. The art was okay. When there's ectoplasm coming from orifices, I guess it's a stash. I don't know, but it's good for me. What about you, Paul? What's your first book?
This will be my second book, bitch.
So your first book, you're reading without us. How about that?
Yes, I was going to do one that nobody else read since that seems
thank you.
trend. And that would be Fence. And this book is what happens when they try to make fencing hip and topical, and they failed. Blast. That's all that needs to be said about it. It was a piece of crap.
I did it all for the nookie. Mike, what's your next book? And yes, man. Vagina Ghosts.
Vagina Ghost. Hashtag that shit.
Yep, that's going to be our next episode.
Vagina Ghost. Let's do Punisher 218. So this book opens up brutal. He's taking out some bad dudes in a warehouse, and after he's done, Nick Fury actually what's up, Bruce Zayas? Actually approaches him, and he's like, I got a mission for you. These people overseas are hurting children. I know your children were murdered, but you're not going to go in there with just your guns. And he offers something to Frank Castle that he actually has to go steal from. I think it's the army. So Frank Castle breaks in there, and he actually gets the War Machine armor. And at the end of this book, he's like, "I'm not fucking giving it back." And it was just great. I loved it. Almost my pick of the week. I got this Punisher variant cover right there. Another awesome cover. So yeah, Stash and Punisher 218 in the War Machine armor.
SS Comic Reader just made a really good point. He said he did it all for the Nookie, and he's wearing the backwards hat like Fred Durst.
That's what Trinity said earlier.
Trinity
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said I look like a retired Fred Durst.
Oh, yeah. But Comic Reader did make the Nookie connection.
He did. Yes. Nobody else did. It was a joke that fell flat.
Hey, Bruce.
And Bruce, by the way, I was not able to pick up one of the extra Batman Who Laughs. I know a couple other people on the page said that they hook you up. So sorry, man, I couldn't get one. My next book is correctly titled. It's by Aftershock Comics. It is Brilliant Trash, and I said accurately titled. This story is. It's really weird. It starts off with this woman saying, you hope I'm Muslim, Christian, Jewish, gay, straight, black, white, immigrant, and nationalist. I am none of these. I am all of them. I am not for you. And as this whole thing shakes, taking over the airwaves, and military end up coming and shooting her in the head, and then she blasts this beam of light out through the bullet hole, I guess. And then it flashes to this reporter, these like BuzzFeed counter reporters sitting in the bar saying, hey, aren't you this girl that's writing this story? Whatever, you know. And a lot of internet stuff, they like little what's they call it, kidder, you know, mocking of Twitter kind of stuff, very internet kind of based. And the one reporter ends up, I think she ends up dying right here. The other one leaves, goes back to her apartment. Let's see here. Back up, you idiot. This other guy ends up getting in a fight with this Chinese guy that can turn himself into fire. They end up having a big old fight in the middle of the apartment. And then that redheaded reporter lady gets stabbed in the neck by this Chinese lady with some serum or something in there. I don't freaking know what was going on through this whole damn book.
Ectoplasm?
No ectoplasm from orifices in this book. She ends up getting away, running out of the room, and then she ends up running into these guys here. This is apparently the team here. That's the team, apparently, from this book. The one guy looks like Animal from the Muppets. I don't know what totally. You don't play drums.
What does Animal do?
What's that?
What does Animal do?
Shut up. I'm not doing it again. This little guy here, he has those little marks. Those are Band-Aids all over his body.
What's little about that dude?
Well, okay, he's not little, but he has little Band-Aids. Awful big guy, little Band-Aids. I don't know. This, like I said, this book was just, I don't know. It was hard for me to kind of follow what was going on, jumping back and forth. And yes, this Animal.
I think that the one you called he must spank it a lot because one of his arms was huge and the other one was just normal.
Well, let's see. Was he lefty or righty? I didn't notice that.
Lefty, I think. I mean, one arm looks a whole hell of a lot bigger than the other one.
Let's see here. Let's see a little. My Robot Will Save Me. The other short story. It is. Dude is see here. It's his left arm.
Lefty.
Dude, his left arm is just his forearm. It's just massive. Cute, he must be.
I mean, something's going on there.
Maybe that's why Animal's screaming the way he is.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is.
Let's just stop right there before we go too far.
Oh, as in stop that cock. Yeah, okay, we'll do
that. Stop that train of thought.
Okay, we'll jump back over to you, Paul. What's your next book?
All right. Well, we've been doing a lot of ones that only one person has read, so we'll do one that I think we all read this one again, and that's Realm. I'm still really liking this book. My one biggest dislike about it is that it seems to just jump around randomly between the different groups, and I think the story doesn't quite flow like it should because you start getting invested in one of the storylines, and then they're somewhere else with you. You're like, what the hell's going on now? But I think all the different character groups are kind of closing in on interacting together. So I think that'll probably work itself out. Like I've noticed that something will happen, one of the storylines, and the guy fires a gun, and then they switch to the next storyline, and you can hear the gunshots. So they're not too far apart, but it's, I mean, it's just, I still just really dig the whole concept of this book and the whole premise, and I'm going to keep buying it.
What about you, Mike?
Comically Flawed just showed up. He said, "Howdy, everyone."
What's up, Flawed?
I'm really liking this too, and going off what Paul said, I think this is eventually going to read better in a trade, but I'm still enjoying it just as well. And this is an awesome cover right here. I like this dude. So yeah,
which they really haven't shown a whole lot from that guy yet.
No. So yeah, still stashed, still enjoying it.
It looks, I mean, that cover looks like something Frazetta would have done. I mean, it's,
yeah. Almost forgot about the show tonight.
oh, that's Scandal. You don't forget Blast It, man.
Well, we've been kind of.
I know we've been jumping around nights for the past couple weeks.
Anything else on Realm?
No, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a book I'm going to continue to pick up as well. I didn't have it on my pull list. Luckily, they had an extra copy on the shelf, so I grabbed it. The one woman's turning more and more into Michonne. You know, the sidekick lady with the hood, but she has
Exactly.
I mean,
she has a bow and arrow in this one, yeah. I want to know. Well, I understand physically how he got his name Red Jaw, but I can only think of one other reason to call him Red Jaw. But we won't go into that either. Maybe it happened one night, but
he earned his wings.
He earned his wings. But yes, I really wish they would show more of. I don't think he's actually been introduced at all. That big kind of bulky guy, he's on the cover. They've shown him in a few panels. I don't think they had him at all at the last issue. But I want to see more of him. He seems like a total badass. He's probably more of a loner and won't kind of really jive with the rest of the team, I think. But it's still good. This one kind of has, let's say, a Star Trek kind of red shirt ending. You know. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, this character's in there. All of a sudden, but what the hell? You know?
Yep.
So, it's a stash for me, and it's one of the books I actually look forward to reading to every month. So, you drinking your Chardonnay or sipping it or whatever you want to call it, your McDougal's?
No, I actually bought this one.
It's not your McDougal.
No,
am I saying that correctly?
I drank some of the McDougal earlier tonight.
Go lay down.
Yes, I drank that one.
Go lay down.
Yesterday.
Gonna hop back on Punisher later, guys. We'll talk about Punisher later. So, what's your? I guess we'll jump back to you, Paul. Your next book.
That was my book. It's Mikey next.
Mikey, okay, Mikey. Mikey.
All right, I'm being attacked right now. Hold on. All right, back it up.
Red Jaw. Show that beer again, Comically Flawed wants you to do.
It's not a beer, it's a bottle of wine.
It's a bottle of wine. It's McDougal.
This one, the label got kind of fucked up at the bottom. That's why I drank it. I don't give away the ones that...
All right, go lay down. All right, so we got Beyond the Blast Doors just pumped. They just pumped. He said, pumped to catch you guys live. Hi, everyone. Jeremy's going to watch Punisher.
Bastard came stick around for another half an hour to watch us.
And Comically Flawed said he tried to buy Punisher this week as a jumping back on, but shop was sold out. So, all right, my next book is going to be Ninjak #1, or Ninja K, if you will. But here's a cover. Pretty awesome cover. So basically, this book opens up with some backstory on the whole ninja program since like 1917. Starts off with Ninja A and goes down the line, Ninja A, B, C, D. Then it goes to like Ninja. He's on a mission to save some kidnapped child from the triad. Saves him, and at the very end, we learn somebody is murdering all the ninjas in this program, and Ninjak is one of them. And this book is fucking amazing with some great fucking art. Here's some art right here. Yeah, I love this. I love the Zero issue. Love this book. This was close to my pick of the week as well. So yeah.
I don't think I've ever read a Ninjak book at all. Even he came out in the '90s, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, I liked them back then too. And so this is just awesome stuff right here.
Okay, let's jump into my book.
Hey, wait, I read it too.
Paul read that.
Douche.
Oh, just so sorry, sir. Go right ahead, Paul.
Well, much like my second pick of the week was Dark Knights, the Batman Who Laughs, and that was Mike's pick of the week. This is his second pick of the week, and this is my pick of the week. Valiant is once again killing it. I think right now they are probably, for me, the most consistent company as far as putting out amazing books. The story was really good in this. Like Mike said, the art was amazeballs. It totally fit the story. I mean, when they started with the World War I stuff, and I was like instantly just right into the story. I have no idea who the bad guy is, but I'm really interested in finding out. And it's just, this was just a great book. I mean, this one shouldn't confuse the hell out of you, Comically Flawed, because this one kind of like, it starts right at the beginning with World War I and explains the whole program and everything. So
yeah, this, like I said, with the Zero issue for Ninjak, it's a good jumping on point. So, and then if you aren't reading Ninjak, I haven't read this book yet, but Bloodshot Salvation is also amazing.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet either, but I've really liked the first two issues. So,
Tats Comics is in the house. What's up, Tat? Compound Strange,
fellow Oregonian, fellow patchouli,
and thank you, Strange.
Okay, my next book is by Image Comics. It is Dark Fang #1. Kind of a very like Pink Floyd kind of look to that. The lettering up top. So this is, of course, about a vampire, as you can see on the front. And it starts out with this this is almost like a Mike book kind of too. This little dirty show. The guys are chatting and saying, hey, hey, honey. There's some pretty graphic stuff in here. I would let her drop
Mike
a deuce on
stood up to get a close look at that.
I did.
Did he?
I did.
He did. I'd pay to see that. Would you ever deep fry one of your dirty, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on there, and then blood splatters on there. So I couldn't find out that there was actually some dude walking down the street watching this, and she attacks him, and that's his blood on the screen, covering her boobies up. So she picks up her phone, and she's kind of going through it. She's kind of intrigued. She doesn't know anything about it. My cat's in here is going to start meowing. And she's asking her little minion, hey, what's this all about? I mean, people give tokens, blah, blah, blah. And so now she really wants to do it. So she ends up joining this what do you call those? Mike would know.
What?
Like the chats, we can go to see the ladies nude and all that stuff.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
No, shut up. So she ended up joining one of these.
Zip eater just went ding.
And she ends up mind controlling all these men, to where these men give her money and everything else. And she realized that she needs to do more than money. Once she gets the money, she makes them set themselves on fire. There's a whole big, and then she ends up getting all this money, and then she buys a big castle. It's a fabled home of Count Dracula. And then it goes in a little backstory where when she first became a vampire, she's walked through the village late at night. It's like 100 years ago. She gets attacked by the vampire, thinking that she was going to be one of his wives, but they end up keeping her as essentially the cleaner. She cleans up the house and all this crap, but she decides she's not going to take that shit anymore. Ends up killing Dracula as well as his 3 wives, and taken out on her own, end up going
Jeez,
and living
talk about earning your wings. Look at that picture.
Yeah. Then she goes and lives in the ocean for 100 years and befriends a shark. I thought this was right up Mike's alley too. She has a friend that's a shark. And then I know she must have been a period. It must be in a period there. The blood circling around there, and that shark coming up to eat her.
It's either her period or a phantom or a poltergeist.
Ectoplasm. But then this dark mystery substance ends up floating down in the ocean. I think maybe it's like an oil tanker that spilled. Ends up killing all of her friends, and she says it's time to exit the ocean and come into the real world again. And then that's where she's learning about all this, the world, how it works today. But, I was actually surprised by this book. I wasn't looking a whole lot into it. I thought, God, this is going to be kind of a tough read. And it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's kind of cartoony, the art is, but it's actually not too bad of a book. And this is kind of a cool little promotion where this is Ivala command you to email your questions and comments or whatever to this Gmail. This is kind of a cool little promotional thing with it. But it was actually pretty good, and I would say it is a stash for me. And I might pick up issue 2 just to kind of see where it's going. There's a little cliffhanger at the end. I'm not going to reveal nothing major, but it's good. It's good. And I guess we'll go back to Paul while I let my cat out. You know what I mean?
Next one for me is Kill the Minotaur, and this is the final issue. And I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed in the ending. It just felt kind of disjointed and doesn't do a great job of explaining things. This book was a perfect example of, first 3 issues out of the gate. This was amazing. I mean, it had vagina rocks and everything, and it was an awesome story, and it had all the the historical stuff and everything. And then starting with issue 4, it just started tailing down, and I think it just kind of ended on a low note. So I mean, if I knew this was how it was going to end, I would have blasted it back then. And so
I'm sorry, I missed what book you were talking about.
Kill the Minotaur. I said it.
Okay.
I said it started out great with all the history and the vagina rocks and everything, and then it just the last issue I thought was just kind of bad.
Well, damn it! I picked it up. I didn't read it.
I just don't think. I think it just didn't realize the potential, and just felt stuffed into one last issue and disjointed and everything. So.
Before we jump back into your book, Mike, what's up with the chat?
SS Comic Reader said the cat is out of the bag, Huey.
Yeah, it is.
And then everyone's talking about Thanksgiving and Turkey Genocide Day. And I actually have off this Thanksgiving. My wife is working, but I am off for the first time in a long time. But yeah, talking about Thanksgiving. Everybody's just chatting away.
So real quick, the thought about Thanksgiving, are we planning on doing a show next week? Even though it's going to be Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So that way you guys know it now. We will be on next Friday, even though it will be...
We'll probably all be fat and full of turkey farts, but...
Black Friday. Nobody's going shopping? I don't do that crap anymore. I go to Amazon.
Yeah, click. Oh, shopping's done.
Yep.
Comically Flawed said he'll be moving over Thanksgiving. That sucks.
I just buy on Amazon and ship to my daughter or everywhere else who lives somewhere else that wants to pay for shipping. So,
man, nobody moves after like September in Iowa because then it's too fucking cold.
Everything's frozen to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Comically Flawed. Mike, what's your next book?
Let's do Green Lanterns 35. For those of you who are not reading this book, Jessica and Simon tried getting real jobs in a couple issues ago. Simon actually did not get hired anywhere, so he started sleeping with superheroes. I don't know. He's like a gigolo now. No, I'll get to that later.
I just thought you said it issue 35, and I'm like, how the fuck are we to 35 already? And then I'm like, oh yeah, every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Jessica Cruz, actually, she works as a kitchen cook. I don't know. If I was a Green Lantern, yeah. If I was a Green Lantern and, fuck getting another job. I'm going, doing other shit. But anyway, this book opens with Jess. She's sitting down with her boss and trying to get moved up and be a waitress, but she has anxiety and all that, so she's not so sure. All of a sudden, this dude right here, on the cover right there, his name is Bofunga, the Unrelenting. But his name is Bofunga.
Man, that's a couple letters away from something really rude.
It's very bad.
He looks badass though.
Yeah. So that's Bofunga, the Unrelenting. He busts in and he wants to duel. And he wants to duel with a Green Lantern. So Jessica Cruz whoops his ass, and she actually calls Simon,
a Bofunga,
who is currently in bed with someone called Night Pilot. Don't know who she is, but is she like an old school DC character, Night Pilot?
I think if you're in bed with someone named Night Pilot, you need to rethink all your life choices.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you're going to wake up naked and broke somewhere.
I mean, let me show you. She is kind of
in a gutter.
She is kind of sexy
with your Green Lantern ring on.
Well, that's what she looks like when she's, not fucking the Green Lantern. But
why is her
the chicken ninja is sexier?
Why is her used rag on the dresser and a tip jar?
And what's dripping out of that cup?
Yes, that's Green Lantern jizz.
Wow, this episode brings Paul back and brings back a whole bunch more stuff.
Yeah, there he is sleeping with a Night Pilot.
So if you're a Green Lantern, you can pretty much make anything you want, right?
Pretty much.
I just see where this is going.
I mean, you'll never have to buy condoms. You could just, that's here he is. Bofunga.
Unrelenting too. He's unrelenting Bofunga.
You were worried about us getting off the rails, man. That whole freaking train is like off the cliff and just.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of this book, turns out Bofunga was just, needed the Lantern's help to. I'm not gonna spoil it. Decent art. I love the banter between Jessica's her ring, and her ring always gives her shit, and just great stuff. This was a stash for me. Lantern jizz stash. And all.
A Bofunga stash.
A Bofunga stash.
Oh, here we go. Hashtag Lantern jizz.
Hashtag Lantern jizz.
Good thing none of that stuff is trending on our Twitter page. Okay. I'll go with my stinker of the week. Even worse than
Loki texting.
Yes, even worse than Loki texting. Even worse than what was the other one? Brilliant Trash, and that is Jenny Finn by Dark Horse Comics. Mike Mignola and who's the artist on this? Troy Nixie. Yeah, I did not like the art in this at all. It kind of reminded me of like a.
That's a Mignola cover though, isn't it?
I don't know. It kind of looks like his art. Let's see here. Yeah.
What's the art inside look like?
What's that?
What's the art inside look like? Because you're saying you hate it.
I did not like it at all. Here, let me find one of the good pages. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, good Lord! It's like he's trying to do a Mignola style, and he's just not doing it well.
That's what I felt too. And it's all over the board. So that guy, that main character, his face changes throughout the whole thing. Here he's kind of like brooding. He's doing the Magnum, like he doesn't that. What's the name of that damn movie? The male model movie. So what it is that this is like disease or something running rampant where it turns people into barnacles and fish and all this other crap. It was kind of hard to follow. This Jenny Finn woman is the one guy it really looks like. So there's some dude, he went to go see a prostitute. These are books all Mike likes.
Yeah, I mean, they all have ass, tits.
And
he turns into it looks like there's even some hoo-ha in there.
Yeah, there might be. He turned into a barnacle fish with barnacles all over his hoo-ha. And so it's really weird. I don't understand a whole lot that's going on. I mean, it's only a four-part miniseries, but I'm just not a fan of this at all. Maybe the story might catch somebody else a little better and they can overlook the bad art. But yeah, I can see what you're saying it's a Magnolia kind of style. Look at his face there, that top middle panel. It's just kind of really, really bad. That's better than I can do.
It looks like something Picasso did.
Now it's probably better than I can do. That's probably very accurate. But still, not a fan. Oh, this is even worse. Look at him there. His little lips are pursed out there.
Duck face.
So DSL.
I was just gonna say that's a dude with DSLs.
So this is actually worse than very trash. This is my stinker of the week. Sorry, Mike Magnolia.
You didn't get those lips from eating square meals, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
My last book for the day is Evolution. I still am not quite sure what's going on in this book, but I am definitely buying issue number 2. I just know there's some sped up evolution going on here, and I think the art really matches the story, and it's really fucked up, and I think it's definitely a story that's going to take a couple issues to play out before you know what's going on, but I really liked the first issue. So kind of a brief synopsis of it, but it was really good.
Yeah, I'll be picking up my issue, I guess, tomorrow. So at least, I mean, if you liked it, and then we have a fairly good, similar taste in comics. So I'm saying if you liked it, then I have probably a good chance I might like it too. So I'm glad I went in and had my LCS hold one for me.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's and sometimes this is a great thing that you don't know what's going on at the beginning. You're just, because you kind of feel like you're with the characters, because the characters clearly have no fucking clue either, except for maybe one guy. I think he knows what's going on because he starts writing in his book like, oh my God, I saw this. Basically the thing he's like a doctor or something, and there's this kid who has asthma, and his mother brings him in, and she's like, he hasn't been taking his inhaler, and the guy's looking at him, and he's like, what are these scratches on his side? And he starts taking a look, and then he like jumps back, he's like, holy shit, and he's writing in his book, they're fucking gills. And he's telling the mother, he says, there's nothing worried about, but this kid just like spontaneously evolved gills to fix his asthma.
Comically Flawed said, I thought about Evolution, and while Image is probably my favorite publisher, I'm almost burnt out on the next Image #1. Now, is he talking about like the next Walking Dead? Like the next big book that's going to hit? Is that what he's talking about?
I mean, that seems to be the concept. Everybody's like, just buy every Image #1 because it's going to be awesome. And then things like Snot Girl.
Snot Girl. Oh my God. I have Snot Girl #1.
So do I. And that ties in right to Comically Flawed's other question, which you guys already answered. You guys buy so many new issues every week for review. Do you ever wish you cut back and bought more back issues? Like you guys answered, I buy back issues when I can too, but
I would say
love,
I more back issues than I do new.
I'm about even, I think. What are you going to say, Mike? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was going to say, I will buy books strictly for the show. I cut back a lot on just I kind of flip through them, see if I'll actually could tolerate them. But there was a time where I was buying books just to read on the show. But yeah.
If I buy back issues, mainly it's at yard sales or flea markets, stuff like that. That's where usually I buy back issues. I don't really, or eBay. I'll get some on eBay, but never. I don't think I get back issues very often from a comic store.
Yeah, out here my LCSs suck. Except I have to go an hour to get one that's even reasonably okay.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my stuff is yard sales, estate sales, and eBay. And my main thing, what I like to do a lot is I'll buy books raw and press them and then send them out to get slabbed.
Moving on. No more. If there's any more questions right now, Mike, what's your next book?
Oh man, I got 3 Marvel books here. Let's do X-Men Blue real quick. X-Men Blue. This is part of Mojo Worldwide, Part 6. What is going on with my shit?
I don't know.
So yeah, this is the end. I've been loving Mojo Worldwide. The story so far. This book is great. There's a really cool scene in here with Polaris and Magneto. They actually, kind of saved the day. The cool part of the end of the storyline is we learn that Mojo is stuck in our world and he can't get back to the Mojoverse. And he has big plans for the X-Men in the future. So, pretty cool stuff. Great story, Mojo Worldwide. That's a stash for me.
All I can hear is when you say Mojo, Jojo, from Powerpuff Girls. I think that's what it is. Did you want to go over any others real quick, or do you want to move on?
Yeah, I can finish my last 2
real
go ahead.
Quick.
Incredible Hulk number 710. This is Return to Planet Hulk Part 2. Great stuff. What's his name? Totally
Great
awesome.
stuff. Is that shitty fucking totally useless Hulk?
He's actually tolerable in this Return to Planet Hulk storyline. You guys buying any of the Legacy second prints? Some of them are cool covers, not ruined by the crappy. No. I am not.
The only Legacy book I think I bought so far is the Captain America blank cover.
But yeah, Incredible Hulk 710, stash it. Now we get into a fuck Marvel book, Spider-Man 2, number 4. Does anyone even care anymore? So this was a blast for me.
I think his leg is dislocated on that cover.
It's
the
like
top Spider-Man, his leg is like.
It's like.
I mean, I don't bend that way. I never bent that way. I mean, I don't bend like I used to, but God, that's.
Try yoga. A little downward dog might help.
No, but I mean, the things are twisted and that's wrong.
Yes.
Fuck Marvel.
Fuck Marvel. So this was close to being my worst pick, but that's all I got.
Okay, I can go over last few I got too, real quick, if you want me to.
Yeah.
You sure it's okay, Mike? I want your permission before I go forward.
Most women do.
Oh, wow, we went there. Then a Marvel Legacy. I actually found finally the Marvel Value Stamp book. I was wondering where they were. I'm not going to buy 2 copies of each book just to fill that damn Marvel Legacy stamp book. That's all that is a money grab. I just grabbed a couple extra of those. I thought they were kind of cool just to have for memory reasons, but I'm definitely not going to be filling it up. 2 books real quick. Super Sons number 10. Damian and John get their own secret headquarters under the water, which is kind of cool. And they kind of get a little more freedom to do what they want. That's what the Batman and Superman let their kids do. Go fight crime within a certain level. It was decent. Nothing major happens in here. A lot of like heart-to-heart moments where Damian kind of has a little more human feelings to him, versus being this whole cold-hearted little shithead. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 9 or 791. God, I'm dyslexic tonight. Kind of a cool cover, Alex Ross cover. Kind of a cool perspective on it. That's how it's supposed to be laid out right there. Mockingbird and Spider-Man on it. It's kind of a cool, interesting cover.
And no dislocations.
No dislocation, but that's an awkward way to kiss somebody. In motion like that. It's got to be really weird. It slipped. Put your, what in there.
We're back to my
I read through it. Yeah. Read through it. So Parker Industries is no more. So he goes back to work at the Daily Bugle to run the science tech portion of the paper. Nothing. I don't know if it's a new character. It's Sand Woman, not Sandman, or what that is. Not bad. I've heard a lot of bad things about Dan Slott. I don't think I've ever read any Dan Slott stuff. I don't think it was horrible, but not necessarily one I'd pick up, follow through.
Fuck Marvel. Let's make everybody.
And the last one is Batman 35. This is the Rules of Engagement Part 3, a duel with the Demon's Daughter. So basically all this is Batman's going to see Talia to get approval, essentially, to marry Catwoman. That's what I got from the issue. And Bruce is just trying to be happy. And so Talia's fighting, saying, hey, I was, by the time I could walk, I was slapped in the face, knocked down, given a sword in my hand, killed and resurrected in the Lazarus pit over and over again. And Catwoman's basically saying, I grew up with nothing. I've come from nothing. This is where I am. And so Talia's saying, good, blah, blah, blah. Catwoman ends up beating Talia, and Talia accepts Catwoman as potentially Batman's mate. Because Catwoman accepts Batman for his flaws, knowing that she'll always come second to justice, essentially.
The whole time was Batman sitting back there going, I'll be the meat in that sandwich.
Yeah, pretty much he was. He kind of tried to stand up for a minute, but I think he got his little boner pinched and he had to sit back down.
His bat boner?
His bat boner. And that's got to be hard in that suit. Unless his little flap. Little extending flap.
The Tony Daniel cover?
I did not. My store did not have one. I got to try to pick one up. I did finally get today. I got the Wonder Woman and the Superman one, though. I got those today. Yeah, I'm trying to find where Batman tries to stand up. See, he's trying to stand up and he ends up sitting back down. I think his little bat flap, where his man bat didn't work so well. Pinched himself and has to sit back down. Filler issue, dude. I mean, it's cool. Kind of has some real human moments in there where Bruce is trying to be happy, and that's his whole goal in life. Now you realize he's been fighting for so long, he just wants to be happy. It's Batman. I'll continue to pick it up, but that issue or that arc was pretty weak, I thought. So
yeah, I'll just go back and read the Batman from 2 weeks ago, where the Elseworlds one where Catwoman was in the lingerie.
Oh yes.
The Italian guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Dark Knight Prince.
Yeah, Dark Prince, I think it was.
Yeah, Dark Prince Charming.
That was a great book.
The Fresh Prince.
Okay, so you talked about all your books, Paul.
Yep.
So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into.
Shut your fungal mouth.
Oh, no. that was kind of a fail one.
Do
that again.
Shut your fungal mouth.
That's better.
Yeah, we're not going to ask him to do it again. He may pass out.
Look, I've been at work all day while you fuckers have been sitting around talking about your bat flaps and.
Well, I was working all day too. Today was all overtime for me, so I'm good.
Not a whole lot of Funko news this week, but I did pick up a lot of Funkos. But first, they did announce, along with the Black Panther movie, We are getting a Black Panther Funko Pops. Go figure. We're getting a
Shot.
normal Black. Yeah, we're getting a normal Black Panther, Chase variant of that. Black Panther in kind of his tribal gear. A glow-in-the-dark Black Panther, which will be available at Target. Eric Kilmore, I think his name is Killmonger. That's it. With a chase, and then Killmonger in the actual Black Panther suit, which I guess kind of spoils the movie.
No, that was in the trailer.
Oh, it was in the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't say these names. Okoye, Shuri, and Nakia are also some of the B-listers in this run, too. And the only other thing I got for February, they announced Tommy Boy Pops, if you're not familiar.
Oh, my God. That's going to leave a mark.
If you're not familiar with the Tommy Boy movie, go check it out. Chris Farley, and I can't think of the other guy.
David Spade.
David Spade. Funny as hell movie. We're getting both them pops, and then we're getting
Dude, are we getting a deer pop?
No, we are getting a Target exclusive Tommy, the fat man in a little suit.
Fat man, yeah, fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah,
fat guy in little coat. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. So, and that is it. I did pick up a bunch of Funkos this week.
Bunch of Funkos.
Fuck you. Fuck. First off, I picked up the GameStop exclusive Goro.
I almost picked that up. I'm still thinking about it.
He's fucking awesome, man. I love him. And here's the line right there, the Mortal Kombat pops. Right there. Next, I picked up the Joker, the Martha Wayne Joker from Hot Topic as well.
Looks just like the other Joker. Looks like the Jared Leto, the who's that dude that died?
Heath Ledger
Joker.
Look,
yeah,
man,
so
but
this one has boobs.
it says, yeah, this one has boobs, and it says Martha Wayne right there.
It has boobs? Okay.
It does. She's got little tiny mosquito bites. But
You sexist bastard, you.
well, I did pick up the Moon Knight from Hot Topic as well, the suit version. We are getting the hooded version soon, so I think that's going to be a Walgreens exclusive. Got to get that one as well.
Yeah, I want that Moon Knight one. I was like, ooh, Moon Knight pop.
Richard. Sorry.
Elvira, the Hot Topic exclusive.
I got that one.
Mummy suit. There she is in all her glory on the back.
Not all her glory.
Not all her glory, but some of her glory. I got the flocked Krampus from Hot Topic.
Come on. Sometimes the present looks better with the wrapping on it.
It does. I would have to agree. Especially if it's too flocked.
The joy is in the unwrapping.
Yeah. Especially if it's too much flock on there.
Yeah, like Krampus.
Yeah. From Stranger Things, which Dave finally finished. Now,
you guys are a riot.
In her Michael Myers costume. Hellboy.
Who hasn't started Punisher?
Look, man, I've been working all day. Hellboy.
Excuses.
I'm gonna watch some tonight.
He's got a hairdryer in his hand?
That's his fucking big ass gun or whatever he calls it. And there's the line for a Hellboy.
What is that gun? Paul just went off the line. Paul knows probably what it is.
I know that his. Tell us in the chat what Hellboy's gun is. I know he's got a name for it. And
we lost Paul.
Yeah, completely. Last but not least, probably one of my favorite pops of the year is the Scorpion Hot Topic exclusive. He's just badass looking.
When you first showed him on the Blast of the Stash Facebook page, I thought he was Ghost Rider.
He could be Ghost Rider, but better.
He could be, but better.
My LCS just got the Ghost Rider on a chopper and a glow-in-the-dark one, too. I actually have the glow-in-the-dark one pre-ordered, so...
Yeah, so do I.
So they should be shipping soon. And that is all the Funkos I got this week. Like I said, not a lot of news. You guys get anything?
I did not get anything. How about you, Paul?
I picked up 3, but before I show the ones I picked up, Mike, I saw one thing today. I think it was about the next series of Stranger Things pops. And they were talking about one of the pops, and they said, and this one will have a chase variant 1 in 6. If it's 1 in 6, should that even get a chase tag anymore, in your opinion? I mean, that's pretty damn common for a pop.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I think that's just like more like a normal one. I mean, it's just a harder to find one like Juggernaut. So I picked up 3. I'm a big fan of the original Death Note, not the Netflix one. I haven't even watched the Netflix one, but I got L from the Death Note series.
I'm not a fan of that. I've never seen the anime, is what I'm trying to say. But I've started watching that movie, and I haven't finished it yet. But
yeah, and then I picked up these are my two pickups. These are probably my best pickups of the last month. I picked up the Destro convention exclusive.
Where'd you get that one?
Toys R Us actually had them. Well, they had one.
I gotta go to Toys R Us.
And then the one that even more so will Mike lose his mind, even though I've already showed it to him, is the Flock Beast Man.
That thing's fucking awesome. Do I have? No, it's a Dorb. I got the Mossman, Beastman Dorb 2-pack.
Yeah, I mean, I went into the Toys R Us and my wife had been there like 3 days earlier, and she picked me up one pop, and she's like, yeah, there's not much here. And then I went a couple days later, and I almost fell out of. I was like, wait a minute, no, there's something here, because I picked up both the Beastman and the Destro at
that's awesome.
Toys.
And we are getting the whole other He-Man line coming out. I think in January.
So are they going to come out the Black Panther with the ball of yarn, and the Black Panther with the cup of saucer of milk
in the litter box?
In the litter box, dude, that'd be awesome. Black Panther litter box. And what I would like to do with Tommy Boy, I would love to come out with the Tommy Boy rides with that Dodge all beat to shit with the two of them in there and the deer.
Yeah, I want the deer.
That would be a cool pop ride, and I would buy that.
They have the Weapon X pop there too at Toys R Us.
I got I got the Old Man Logan convention exclusive. I got that at GameStop.
Tat, did you get an X-23 or what is she? Yeah, X-23.
Oh, you have to seriously look around and see what it was called.
Yeah, because I have it sitting on the shelf right fucking behind the.
How it has tits, Mike? How can you forget?
Where the fuck is it? I don't know where it is. Look at all them fucking pops. I got pops everywhere.
Now, how many are you up to? Because I thought you had more than you. I thought you said in your last one.
670 something, I think, or 600.
See, I thought you had already broken 700.
No, I cut way back. I was buying pops just to buy pops.
You got to save money for Texas.
I do. What's going on in Texas?
I wonder.
Did you guys buy your tickets yet?
No, not yet.
No.
I think I'm buying mine tomorrow.
I got to wait till after Christmas to buy mine. I'm not going to do like the expensive Uber Duper pass. I'll just do the 3-day pass, the normal one.
I think I'm doing I forget what it's like a little bit better than the Uber. The 3-day pass is like $90, and I think the other one's $140, which is you get the exclusive comic and everything. But there's one pass that's like $480. I'm like, yeah, I got to buy 2 of them. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll do the 141.
Yeah. When we do that one, Mike, we get priority seating to all the events. We'll make fun of Dave sitting in the back there in the line.
I won't be going to events probably.
I'm mostly doing it for the exclusive comic.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do that, but that's $140 for 3 days.
Yeah, so it's 50. I think it's $50 more than the regular 3-day.
Yeah, we'll see if that's even available after Christmas.
Yeah, because it does say there's limited quantities of them.
Yeah, so if I don't get it, I don't get it. But
Yeah,
I would like to get it.
Like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, because I'll just take yours, Paul.
You're gonna have to take it.
So we're going to talk a little bit about movies, TV. First thing I want to make a comment. I stopped in my LCS tonight. I had to get some more bags and boards, and I was talking to the two guys working there, and they had Korg from the new Thor movie there as a Funko Pop, and I asked them, "Hey, you guys go see Thor yet?" And the one guy says, "There's a new Thor movie."
Are you kidding me?
What the hell?
I would have beat him about the fucking head and neck.
I said, "You work in a comic shop, dude. We tell about the new Thor movie." Oh my god! And the other guy's looking at me, goes, I like him a lot, but sometimes he's dumb as a freaking brick.
I seriously think the Thor movie is probably my second favorite Marvel movie ever.
Nah, nobody has seen Justice League yet.
No, I'm not going until after I finish Punisher.
I'm gonna go see that tomorrow.
I'm pushing for Sunday. I am off Sunday, so.
Well, I will be finishing Punisher tomorrow, so.
Chats Comics has got metal diecast of Wolverine and Mystique.
Metal diecast.
Oh, we didn't close out your segment there, Mike.
Shut your Funko mouth.
And now we can move on.
That was the best one of the day. He actually had the proper pitch and he had some meat behind it. Bravo.
So, you were talking about Punisher, so that everybody knows that got released last night. I stayed up till about 1:30 in the morning. I watched episode 1 and part of episode 2. I had to be up at 5:30 this morning to go to work, but I watched the first couple. Mike, you haven't watched any. Paul, you've watched first 2?
I've got the first 3 done.
Okay. Your take on the Punisher so far?
Badass. I mean, I don't want to give too much away because it did just come out. But I will say that in the first episode, they had a fight scene, and my wife first she started watching it and she's like, oh my god, and she's like, she turned away and then she's like, even the sounds, I want to puke. I'm sold right there. I mean, up until now, I'm kind of in the minority, but I really like the Punisher Warzone movie because I thought it really captured the brutality of the Punisher. And I think this captures the brutality of Punisher.
I actually like the Warzone movie.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ray Stevenson was great as Punisher. I mean, I think he's a big, bulky motherfucker, and he looks like he'd kick your ass, and he did in the movie, and it was just brutal. And I think that's what you need for Punisher. I need, the movies before then, they tried to go for the G.I. Joe version of Punisher, where they shoot 900,000 bullets and nobody gets shot. No, Punisher needs to fuck shit up.
Yeah, you're talking about Punisher being big and a brute, and that was my big argument behind John Bernthal playing Punisher. It's like Punisher's like 6'5", 240-pound guy. I mean, a big guy. John Bernthal's not that. I think maybe he's 6 foot tall. I don't know, but he has he's
got the presence to.
Yeah. That's it. One of my favorite scenes from the first episode's right in the first 5 minutes of the movie, where he's chased down the bikers, kills the bikers. He's killing the other gang members, and one gang member gets away. He says, "War as Mexico." He's like, he's celebrating. He's going up with these women. He's going to get himself a little celebratory BJ there. And it flashes back, and it says Punisher. It's him. It says the Santa Fe, Mexico, or not. What was it? We're somewhere in Texas, right across the border.
Probably Nogales, because that's right across the border from.
And he just snipes him from across the border. That part. That's kind of what, dude, that just sucked me right in. That little scene
right there. My wife was like, what's he? Is he like stalking a chick? And I'm like, no, watch. And then like the next second, guy's head just goes.
Yeah. We've all seen the dark brooding guy that's a total badass but doesn't want to fight. They've played that story out a lot of times. The family's getting killed or wife getting killed, and the guy doesn't want to fight even though he's a badass. But I think that really works well with it. I think it tells a really good story here, or the whole concept behind it, you know, to where you don't necessarily know what everybody's going through. Here he gets to work early, and he's leaving late, and all he is beating on that freaking wall with a hammer. That's all he's doing. He's getting all his aggression out. But yet nobody knows what he's going through. Nobody knows what's going through his mind. And every time he lays his head down, he sees his wife getting killed and his family getting killed every single time. I mean, that just really draws you in. I see you, Jillian. Thank you. My daughter just got home. So no more cursing for me. And just the struggle he's going through, I think that's just amazing how he portrays that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ray Stevenson did a great job just portraying him as the heartless badass who just fucks shit up. I think Bernthal has the presence to do that whole ruthless badass who fucks shit up, but he also gives him the human side as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Stevenson's is more comic booky, because some of his deaths are, like guy parkouring across the building and shoots him with a freaking rocket launcher and blows him up. That's comic book Punisher.
Or when he does, like, when they're in the safe house and he just like uses I think it was the butt of the shotgun and just mashes that guy's face in. Yeah. I mean, it's just that definitely is the comic booky violent Punisher, which granted I'm all for that, but Bernthal also gives him you understand the torment behind the character. Yeah. I think that's where he kills it. I met John Bernthal once. I didn't get his autograph. That's all I told him. I said, dude, you killed it. Even at that Daredevil season 2, where he was in there just those few episodes, we didn't get to see the brutality we're seeing now, but I said, you killed it, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's all I could tell him. What's this one? Thank you. Sorry, my daughter's coming to bother me, giving me a hard time. She's bringing you your fucking spliff for after the show. Bring me what? Your spliff, man. She's your hookup, man. Yeah. Come on, you're in Oregon, man. It's all a high quality weed, man. So yes, I did finish up Stranger Things 2. What's your take on Stranger Things season 2? Mike, we'll start with you since you haven't been talking.
Freaking insane, awesome, better than the first season. Can't wait season 3. Yeah, I thought Dustin killed it this season. I like the new chick, Max. She's awesome. So
my favorite line in the whole movie was the last episode. Who's that bully dude with the mullet? Yeah. Max's brother.
I forget his name.
You know what I'm talking about. Maybe. I don't know. When he pulls up to the house, he gets out of the car. Is that you? He goes, yeah, it's me. Don't cream your shorts. Dude, I lost it. Dude, I thought that was funny as hell.
I mean, I really liked season 1, and I thought this was like on an exponential level better. I thought everything about this. The only thing is, did everybody forget that in season 1 we fucking hated Steve?
Oh yeah, Steve was a total douchebag in the first season,
and now he's like fucking dad. I mean, he's the dude, man. And I really and this is one of those little things that they say a lot of people miss, but and I don't think we're giving anything away at this point. I think the show's been out long enough because, I mean, even Dave finished it. So, but the little things like that, Hopper with his daughter who died, who she had the hair tie, and then throughout the entire series, he's been wearing the hair tie on his wrist. And then in the last episode where 11 is dances with Mike, she has it on her wrist. It just shows that he really has just fully adopted her. And, it's just little things like that they pay a tremendous amount of detail to this. I mean, Another thing that was an Easter egg is, they had the Ghostbuster costumes for Halloween. And in the background, I think it was in Dustin's room, they have the actual Ghostbusters fan club thing that if you signed up back in the 80s, you would actually get that exact thing. I mean, they pay attention to what was real at that time. I mean, they bring you back to, I mean, for all of us, this is when we grew up. So, I mean, this is our shit, you know? And it's like, I see things in there and I'm like, oh, I remember that,
Nothing I was going to add. I forgot. Oh, damn it. What the hell, Dustin? Dude, did he not go through a whole season with a whole bunch of shit and he sees this funky lizard-looking thing? Oh, I'll keep it as a pet. What the hell's up with that?
He's a kid. He thought he was, finding a new, I don't know.
He's got a paddle. Paddle on the river of knowledge, I guess, huh?
And then they fucking ate his dog or his cat?
His cat, yeah. Paul left the skin. But, I thought Stranger Things 2 was good. We'll see what Paul gets back here. Anything else you're watching right now, Mike?
As soon as we get off here, I'm going to start The Punisher and grab something to eat. And I've been watching South Park on Hulu, but that's about it.
Kick the baby.
Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and close it out. I was hoping Paul was going to be here for the closeout thing, but do you have any last-minute shout-outs or new subs you want to talk about?
I do have a new sub, and I can't remember who she was.
Miss Hustle.
Miss Hustle, yes.
It is. Okay.
It is Miss Hustle. Shout out to her. Haven't checked out her channel yet, so I don't know what it's all about. Shout out to Tat, SS Comic Reader, Comically Flawed, everyone who is in here tonight and not seeing Justice League, Area 51, all them guys. We are back on Friday nights, so yeah.
Well, the Blasted or Stash It channel has a few new subs. Joker68, Miss Hustle, and Rainstorm Night Radio is actually a friend of mine I've known for a long time. He actually does he had a podcast with heavy metal history. So it's something you might like, Mike and Paul.
Nice.
But he also does dream stuff. So go check him out. And I have a new sub as well, Rebel Comics. I don't know why he wasn't subbed to me before. We've known him for a long time. But those are some new subs.
He was on the show.
He was.
Earlier
he was on the show. Yeah. Yep. Just subbed to me, though. Maybe he didn't like me for a while until I started playing video games with him. Who knows? But that is it. Since Paul's not back, we'll go ahead and close it out, unless he wants to jump in here with the next 5 seconds. 1,
like once,
2, 3. Okay, well.
I guess Paul is.
No, there he is. Back. There he is. Last minute shout outs, Paul, before we head out.
Last minute shout out. I would just like to send a shout out to Andrew Maxwell from Rum Row. I got my Kickstarter books. He was the first Kickstarter book we did on the show. Books came in, they were packaged correctly, and the covers are awesome. I haven't read them yet, but just want to spend a special shout out to him. Thank him for being willing to send us free copies for the first Kickstarter.
Which we need to get another Kickstarter corner up and going. We need to find another book for next week.
That one I told you about, I sent a couple emails to him and I never heard back. So
okay,
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We'll get one. So with that, guys, we are back on Friday nights. We should be a permanent slot for a good while unless something else comes up. But with that, whether you blast it or whether you stash it, happy reading, and we'll catch you next Friday night.